Hi, you found the bonus content for episode 1 of Step 1. We had so much great information to tell you in the first episode, we couldn't fit it all in, so we've added it here in the bonus content section. We've got a little bit more information about harm reduction, information about different types of kits that are available, and a close-up view of the demonstration we gave you in the main episode. Enjoy! The goal of harm reduction programs such as this is to meet people where they're at instead of maybe where you wish they might be. To recognize that there will always be a percentage of the population that engages in higher risk activities, but to try and minimize the harm from those activities. It's a compassionate, non-judgmental approach that tries to help people achieve goals at where they're at to help protect themselves and lead to safer and healthier communities. The safest veins to be injecting are those in the forearms or the back of the hands. The most dangerous veins to be injecting into are those in the head and neck or in the groin area. Injecting in those areas has pretty serious risks, including infections like abscesses into the brain or serious blood clots that can grow in the veins and spread throughout the body. Once getting close up, we're showing that this user, even though their needle has never touched the other user's bloodstream, because there's just a little tiny bit of that blood, even if it's not even visible blood, when they're injecting into their bloodstream, you see that just a few drops of that can be enough to spread blood from one person to another, and that could be enough to spread some of these serious infections like hepatitis B, C, or HIV that we're talking about. Other kits that are available include snorting kits that include a few clean straws for those who are snorting drugs. The reason for this is that because straws have sharp edges, it can cut the very delicate lining of the nose, and so if several people are using the same straw, there's a chance that infection can be spread from person to person in this manner, and this can be a pretty significant risk factor for spread of bloodborne infections that we're discussing. And lastly, in areas where crack use is more common, that is used through a pipe, some programs have safe crack smoking kits. The reason for this is because that pipe gets so hot, it can burn the lips, and then again, those cracks and burns in the lips can bleed and blood can be spread on the pipe between people. There are vitamin C kits that are available for certain types of drugs, specifically crack cocaine or brown heroin, that are basically the drug dissolved with a base. So basically, kind of like baking powder, the vitamin C acid helps neutralize that to be able to safely dissolve it. This is safer than using things such as lemon juice. And so if you are using products like those, please speak to your healthcare provider about getting those vitamin C packets. If you're injecting other substances such as steroids, you'll want to ask your healthcare provider for longer needles, as these aren't long enough for use into the muscles. Any way that blood can be spread between people is a way that some of these bloodborne infections can be spread. So one of the big risks is tattoos. For example, if you did a tattoo at home while incarcerated or at a location where non-sterile equipment was used, that is, needles might have been reused between people, the ink might have been reused between people, etc. There certainly is a chance that those bloodborne infections could have been spread through that way. So if you have had a tattoo like that, please talk to your healthcare provider about getting tested. There is also a small chance that some of these bloodborne infections can be spread through other ways that blood is shared between people. So razors, toothbrushes, or having sex where there is blood involved. So even if it's someone that you trust and care about, don't share razors or toothbrushes. If you're having sex where there is blood involved, whether one person has sores or tears, or if one partner is menstruating, please consider using condoms or other barrier methods to minimize the chances of blood being shared and thus infections being shared between people. Thanks for tuning in. As I mentioned, if you think there's any chance you might have picked up one of these bloodborne infections, contact your healthcare provider.